My beloved child. Stop for just a moment, because this message did not arrive by accident. Before you move on, listen carefully. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is a story of hope, timing, and unexpected love. It is a fictional, inspirational message designed to encourage your heart. Yet sometimes a story can awaken something that facts alone cannot. So remain here, because every moment is building towards something They believed the day would pass like every other day. But unseen to them, everything was already beginning to change. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As they slowly walked through that peaceful moment, they felt something impossible to explain. It was not fear. It was not confusion. It was a gentle pull that kept asking them to stop and look again. At first they ignored it. They told themselves it was only imagination. Yet every step forward somehow brought them back to the same feeling. It was as if their heart recognized something long before their mind could understand it. They could not explain why your memory suddenly became impossible to ignore. Without warning, your soulmate remembered a small detail about you. It was not your appearance alone. It was not simply your voice. It was the kindness you carried, the patience you showed, the quiet strength that stayed with them even after every conversation had ended. That single memory grew stronger with every passing second until it filled their thoughts completely. They tried to distract themselves, but every distraction somehow led them back to you. Pause for another moment and hear this carefully. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The quiet visit was no longer ordinary. It had become the beginning of a journey they never expected. Every heartbeat reminded them that someone existed who had changed them more deeply than they had ever admitted. They looked around once more, expecting the feeling to disappear. Instead, the silence became even more meaningful. They noticed familiar colors, familiar sounds, familiar moments that somehow reminded them of conversations they once had with you. Nothing dramatic happened around them, yet everything inside them was changing. The greatest transformations often begin where nobody else can see them. For the first time in a long while, they stopped pretending everything was fine. They admitted that they had been carrying questions inside their heart. Questions they had never shared with anyone. Questions about timing. Questions about missed opportunities. Questions about whether destiny could truly reconnect two people whose paths had slowly drifted apart. As those questions grew louder, an unexpected sense of peace settled over them. They realized they had spent too much time running from their own emotions. They had convinced themselves that silence was easier than honesty. But that quiet visit slowly broke every wall they had built around their heart. Listen closely now, because the next part matters. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate was not searching for answers that day, but answers quietly found them. One gentle realization after another began opening doors they thought had been closed forever. They remembered the moments when they almost reached out to you but stopped themselves. They remembered messages they never sent, conversations they imagined, and words they wished they had spoken. Every forgotten possibility suddenly returned with incredible clarity. Instead of regret, however, they felt hope beginning to replace fear. The air itself seemed different. Time felt slower. Every ordinary sound carried extraordinary meaning. It was almost as if life had paused to give them one chance to hear what their heart had been whispering all along. They finally understood that genuine connection is never measured by distance alone. Real connection continues growing even when two people are separated by silence. Something unexpected happened inside them at that very moment. They smiled without realizing it. Not because everything was perfect, but because they suddenly believed that unfinished stories do not always remain unfinished. Sometimes they simply wait for the right chapter. If you are still listening, remain here. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The quiet visit had already become unforgettable, but the greatest surprise had not yet arrived. Your soulmate quietly whispered to themselves that if another opportunity ever appeared, they would not let fear make the decision again. They promised themselves they would choose courage over hesitation, honesty over uncertainty, and hope over doubt. It was a promise made in complete silence, yet it carried the weight of a lifetime. They walked a little farther, but something caused them to stop one final time. Their eyes rested on a simple scene that reminded them of the future they once imagined. Nothing extraordinary to anyone else. Yet to them it felt like a gentle reminder that beautiful things often arrive without announcing themselves. Their heart became lighter than it had been in months. Every heavy thought slowly disappeared. Every painful memory lost its power. What remained was one clear realization: some people leave an impression that time cannot erase. No matter how life changes, certain hearts continue recognizing each other. This fictional story is not about predicting the future. It is about remembering the value of hope, kindness, patience, and the courage to appreciate meaningful connections. Sometimes the quietest moments become the ones that transform us the most. Keep listening because the story is only beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The quiet visit was only the first step, and what follows will reveal why that ordinary day became impossible for your soulmate to forget forever. Everything changed the moment your soulmate decided not to leave that quiet place. They had every reason to walk away, yet something deep within urged them to remain just a little longer. They could not explain why their footsteps became slower, why their breathing became calmer, or why every passing second felt unusually important. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened next became the moment they would remember for a very long time. As they stood there in complete silence, they noticed something they had overlooked before. It was not a dramatic sign or an impossible miracle. It was a simple moment that awakened a powerful realization. They saw two strangers sharing a genuine smile, helping one another without expecting anything in return. That ordinary act touched their heart in an extraordinary way. Suddenly they began wondering if real love had always been built on simple moments rather than perfect ones. At that instant, your presence filled their thoughts once again. The memories returned with incredible clarity. They remembered conversations that made them laugh when life felt heavy. They remembered moments when your kindness spoke louder than words. They remembered how peaceful they felt whenever you encouraged someone without asking for recognition. Every forgotten detail returned stronger than ever before. They quietly admitted to themselves that no matter how hard they had tried to move forward, your impact had never truly left their heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened inside your soulmate next was something they never expected. Instead of asking whether they should forget you, they began asking why they had spent so much time hiding what they truly felt. That single question changed everything. Their heart became completely honest with them. For the first time, they stopped blaming circumstances, stopped blaming timing, and stopped blaming distance. They realized the greatest obstacle had been fear. Fear of saying too much. Fear of hearing the wrong answer. Fear of taking one step that could change everything forever. But as they remained in that peaceful place, fear slowly lost its voice while hope became impossible to ignore. They closed their eyes for a brief moment, and every meaningful memory seemed to return at once. They remembered the smallest details that everyone else would have forgotten. They remembered your encouragement, your calm spirit, your quiet confidence, and the way you inspired others simply by being yourself. Those memories became brighter than anything surrounding them. Something unexpected happened next. A gentle breeze passed through the quiet place, and instead of leaving, they smiled. It felt as though life itself was reminding them that beautiful chapters often begin without warning. They understood that not every important moment arrives with loud celebrations. Sometimes the greatest turning points happen in complete silence. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this quiet visit was becoming far more meaningful than your soulmate had ever imagined. They began imagining what they would say if another opportunity appeared. This time there would be no hesitation. They would speak honestly. They would stop hiding behind uncertainty. They would choose sincerity instead of silence. The future no longer seemed frightening. Instead, it felt filled with possibilities they had almost forgotten existed. As they prepared to leave, one final realization stopped them once again. They understood that life had quietly been preparing them through every challenge, every delay, and every unanswered question. Nothing had been wasted. Every experience had shaped them into someone ready to appreciate genuine connection instead of chasing temporary distractions. The quiet visit ended, but the story did not. In fact, it had only just begun. They walked away carrying something they had not brought with them that day, a renewed sense of hope. Their heart felt lighter, their thoughts clearer, and their future no longer seemed uncertain. They knew they could never look at ordinary moments the same way again because one peaceful visit had reminded them of the person they could never truly forget. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter reveals the surprising choice your soulmate begins to make after this unforgettable day, and it is the choice that could change everything they once believed about love, timing, and the future. A new chapter quietly began the moment your soulmate returned home, but nothing around them looked different. The room was the same. The evening felt ordinary. The world continued as if nothing had happened. Yet inside their heart, everything had changed. They could no longer ignore the feeling that the quiet visit had awakened. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story you are hearing is only becoming more powerful, and what happened next surprised even your soulmate. For hours they tried to focus on other things, but every attempt led them back to the same thought. It was not a passing emotion. It was a growing certainty that someone had left a permanent mark on their heart. Every small reminder brought your memory back with greater clarity. A familiar melody, a peaceful sunset, a kind conversation, each one quietly pointed them toward the same realization. They understood that some connections become stronger with time instead of fading away. The quiet visit had revealed something they had never expected to discover. They realized they had been waiting for the perfect moment, while life had been quietly creating meaningful moments all along. Suddenly they saw every missed opportunity in a different light. Instead of feeling regret, they began feeling gratitude because those moments had taught them what truly mattered. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next realization completely changed the direction of their thoughts. Late that evening, your soulmate found themselves smiling without even noticing. It was a peaceful smile, one that came from deep within. They remembered a conversation that once seemed ordinary but now carried extraordinary meaning. They remembered words of encouragement, kindness, and hope that stayed with them long after they were spoken. At that moment, they quietly admitted something to themselves they had never spoken aloud. They missed the feeling of being understood. Every heartbeat seemed to repeat the same question. What if the quiet visit had not been ordinary at all? What if it had been the beginning of a brand new chapter? They did not have every answer, but they no longer needed every answer to believe that something meaningful was unfolding. Hope was replacing uncertainty one moment at a time. As the night grew quieter, they opened an old notebook where forgotten dreams had been written months before. They read each page slowly, and one dream stood out above all the others. It spoke about building a future filled with trust, laughter, patience, and genuine companionship. Reading those words reminded them of you once again. They realized they had never truly stopped believing that such a future could exist. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the most unexpected discovery had not yet arrived. The following morning, they woke with unusual clarity. The hesitation that had followed them for so long seemed smaller than ever before. They promised themselves they would no longer allow fear to make important decisions. Whether the journey ahead was easy or challenging, they wanted to move forward with honesty instead of silence. As they stepped outside, they noticed how different the world looked. The same streets appeared brighter. The same sky seemed more peaceful. Nothing around them had changed, yet their perspective had transformed completely. They finally understood that when the heart changes, everything else begins to look different too. One quiet thought stayed with them throughout the day: meaningful connections are never measured only by time or distance. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the story is moving toward a remarkable turning point. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that some moments arrive unexpectedly, not to interrupt life, but to gently guide it toward a brighter future. And the next chapter will reveal the heartfelt decision they are finally ready to make after everything they experienced during that unforgettable quiet visit.